Hello, you can see the engine down behind me. Welcome to the next little bit of flathead fun at Mart's. Okay, I've done a little bit more work, so I'll just give a brief recap of that, and I'll show you a couple of things that came to light and a couple of things that I did, but I actually lost the footage. So here's a couple of things. Here's the first thing. It's a 99 on the front of the block there, as clear as anything. I didn't know to look there, and I didn't notice it, and I was looking all around this deck face. Couldn't find it, but there it is, clear as anything. So because this is a relieved block, that's what they call the factory relief there, this area. I can't point because I've got the light in one hand and the camera in the other, but this area here is what they call the factory relief. And that means that this is either truck or military, some sort of military vehicle. I went round yesterday and I sprayed a load of WD-40 on the cylinders, and it's just sitting there, so it hasn't soaked through. What I think I'm going to do today is try and get the crank out. There's a crack on that piston there. I tried to show it before, but I didn't. I was blasting it out with the light. I didn't realise I wasn't looking in the camera. So there's a crack there on that piston that I noticed, and there's that big crack on that other piston. The other thing I did yesterday that I I lost the footage was I just put a pair of vice grips on that and gave it a little twist, and it was a little bit tight, but it soon freed off and I just was able to pull it out. I put it back in because there was quite a lot of dirt around the hole, so I wanted to just block the hole up. And I've got all the valves out. I know not all of them were there, but I've got out the ones that were left, and that was in the last session I did. Hopefully that video should already be out by now. So there's all of the tappet chest. What else? No, that's it. I'm just going to get set up. I'm going to sweep the mess and put a tray underneath to catch any further mess, because when I tip this upside down, all this is all going to run out, and I'm going to be spraying more stuff around as well. So, oh, the other thing was that this block has the extra port there for the military spec oil filter system, but it wasn't hooked up. I don't think it was hooked up. It might have been, I don't know, but it isn't now. And you can't see any of the remnants of the things that we used to block off the port inside there. And it's just fitted with a conventional oil pressure sender there, which appears to be damaged. So although it has the capability of running the what they call the 95% flow oil filter, I don't think it ever has. Okay, so that's it. I'll bring you back when I'm set up to start pulling the crankshaft out. Okay, back in a bit. When I first looked at this engine, there wasn't a nut on this conrod bolt there. Conrod, I say bolt, it's part of the rod, isn't it? But this nut fell out of the engine when I was turning it over, so I imagine that's that one from there. So let's start with the easier ones, and let's try and get these bolts out. Now this is going to be a bit, as with everything, it might be a bit tedious because the crank won't turn. I have done this once before, But I don't know if I was just lucky then that I was able to get all the bolts out okay. But I was having to use like 3 different spanners on one of the nuts, one of the ones that was tucked right down the bottom there, you know, and do it like a fraction of a flat at a time. But hopefully you won't need to worry about that, because I can speed everything up, can't I? This is obviously the one that anybody who's looked at it has used to access it. Okay. These are fully floating bearings. Okay, so that's number 2. And that's the front. So that's going on the table there. You can't see that, that's just off camera, but I'm putting that there. And this one's number 1. Okay. I'm not an engine builder, so if I do things wrong, don't blame me. Okay, and that's number 1 and that's the front. I say number 1, it's probably not number 1 cylinder, it's number 1 in this order here. So there's the bearings, which should rotate on the crank. I'll go for the low hanging fruit first, the ones that are easier to see. I think these are those homemade locking nuts. There are split pin holes in the things. Now somewhere I've got that. Bloody hell, jeez, that's tight. Somewhere I've got that, I'll have to find it, won't I? That special spanner that I've been using. I was using it when I worked on the truck. Wonder where that is. Ha ha. The beauty of this is that it's, you know, it tapers down to the... That's quite tight. Then you can put it up that way. Good quality nuts. Yeah, you got to be careful if your socket doesn't go on very well. So there's a bit of crap around the end of this. You can't see it, obviously. There's a bit of crap around the end of the nut there. So I'm just digging that out so I can get a better purchase with the socket. Oh. I reckon that was quite tight. That one's loose. That one was loose as well. Oh, that one's loose. Somebody's, as they say, somebody's been here before me. Oh, yep, not tight. Certainly not as tight as that one. Okay, so that's number 5 in the sequence from the front. So that's 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 6, and that's the front. Right then, more difficult ones now. That's a thin nut. This is the 7th rod. Considering it was only a thin nut, it's quite tight, that. Why won't that go on there? Would you believe the split pin of the adjacent rod was getting in the way? I really like this little wrench. I may have mentioned it before. Now this is where you have problems because, oh, it did actually go on, that's good. You know, if you can't actually get it on in quite the right place, you won't get it another flat round, if you see what I mean. Just use a handy bolt to start the nut on, then you can take it off. Okay, let's see if that cap will come off. It's getting harder and harder to reach. Right, that's number 7 and that's the front. 5, 6, 7. Okay, 3 left. Yeah, it's a pain not being able to turn the motor over. So I've got to get down onto that nut down there, for instance. That one there. So I've got to get these split pins out now. And those ones there. That don't look very good, does it? It's just oily water, look, watery oil. I've took that one out there and I'm just getting this one out of here. There we go. See, this is what I'm up against, look, it's quite rusty as well down here, isn't it? Oh, now that one's just broke. Which may or may not be a bad thing. It's nice and solid, so you get a good... Okay, so I've just cut that split pin, so I'm hoping if I can put a decent spanner on there, I'll just shear the remnants of the split pin with the spanner. Because I can't get a nut on it, I know that. Well, I've got one more to have a go at over here. There you go. Oh, that might have a chance of going that way now. I'll just bust the head off. I wasn't exactly meaning to, but I did. There you go. That's it. Okay, that's those 4. See, you can't get on that. Right, let me find some spanners. Get your mind out the gutter. Well, that's awkward, isn't it? That won't go. Oh, it will. I was going to say that won't go on, but it has gone on. So how am I going to turn that? I just found another wrench that's been ground there. I wonder if I've done that the last time I had to do this job. So let's try that one on. Don't know if you can see what I'm doing now. I'm putting two wrenches together. Well, I would be if I had the right end on it. Let's come on. It touched on there then. Let's try this again. Try and... I know that's the cylinder, but what the hell. I don't want the spanner to ride up. Got it. Woo! Okay. Oh, I think I've got it. That's the problem now, you see. Can't get the bloody spanner off. Oh. I reckon that was pretty touch and go there. You know what I mean? With regards to potentially stripping, rounding the corners off. I'm not too convinced now that I haven't even done it now. See what I was trying to say about it being really awkward? Oh, it is going. It has gone. That's good, isn't it? Let's try an open ender at that point there then. Hazet 600. I think that's German. Looks rather amateurish the way that's stamped in there. 9/16, look. Germany. Right, let's have a look. Okay. Oh, I bet the rod won't come off, will it? Yeah, I'm going to try. No, I think it's... Oops. Yeah, that's just bottomed on the edge of the cylinder. Let's have we got these mains. I've done one of them. So it's best to brace yourself against the engine instead of just pulling like a mad thing. You know, you don't want to pull anything over, do you? You know, keep the forces within the engine itself, if you know what I mean. Okay, that's good, isn't it? Right, what's the best way of getting the mains off? I don't want to go in heavy-handed with a chisel. Okay, that's it. Right, that's number one. That's it, isn't it? There's nothing to make it come this way though, is there? I wonder what would happen if I tried to turn the crank. That'd be interesting, won't it? Oh, that's a better way of lifting the bearings. Tell you what, just because I do something don't mean it's the right way to do it, you know. I'm probably doing everything completely wrong. Whoops. Okay, that's got that. I didn't need to force it at all, to be honest. Oops. There's number 3. I think the bearing has stayed down there. Okay, good. Number 3. I should have thought of that earlier, shouldn't I? That would have made it easier. Okay, there's a lesson for you. And me. Okay. There you go, there's number 2 as well. Nice and easy. Don't sweat it, just start flexing the crank around and it'll lift it. Right, there's number 2. Come on. Okay, good. Right. I'll just whiz that out then. The thing is, do any of these rods want to turn? Do you know what I mean? Like pivoting the pistons. I know it ain't the best stuff, but I just happen to have a can. I was hoping I might be able to just tease that cap off. What I think I might do is get the crane round and somehow attach it so that I'm trying to lift the crank. I'm just using the clutch bolts to attach a chain. course it's trying to lift everything now, isn't it? And it's come out, look. It's just come out. Did you see the block go down? Okay, right. Ah, the flywheel's now caught on a bolt there. You know, and I suppose the oil, you know, where the gears are at the back. Okay, good. Here we go, look, crankshaft's out. Wow, that wasn't easy, was it? Are you still recording? Yeah, good. Never easy when, you know, everything's all seized up. Right, let's get this. Let's try and get the bearings all out in the right order. Hang on, what's going on here? The wheel's caught on the edge of the table. Can you see the crank? Let's get these bearings all out of the way. Okay, there's one piece. I suppose I could just put them on the crank, couldn't I, and put a cable tie around them to keep them all in the right place. So that was why it's difficult, because these don't want to move very freely. That one is solid, and you know that one's all right. These don't want to move very freely, so I mean that one there hasn't moved, so the crank will have had to roll out of that one. And that one's very tight as well. Yeah, that one's very tight. That one hasn't moved. This one, you know, something must have moved. It must have moved, mustn't it? Because the only place they could have been is like where they coincide, like that. I don't know, you know, they must have moved. Okay. I got my silly glasses on. These are much stronger glasses than I would normally wear. They're just some cheap ones from the supermarket. Right, thanks very much. Look, the crank is out. Heavens knows where I'm going to go next with this, but right, as always, thanks for keeping me company in the garage. Take care of yourselves. Bye. Oh God, what have I done? What have I done? What have I done? mess, isn't it? Right, see you then.